huge value prop with us is when you turn on that skip trace and save toggle, is we will actually identify the contact information for all of these buyers for free. Okay, so there's no additional step or cost for skip tracing with InvestorBase, right? So Felipe could scroll down this right side list view, and what you'll see is that all of these buyers are ranked from most likely to buy your deal at the top to least likely to buy your deal at the bottom, right? So what we're doing is we're taking, you can see a lot of hedge funds in here. We're taking the deal that Felipe's trying to sell up there on Amesbury Lane, and we are matching it to the deals that these buyers did. So we're essentially saying, hey, this guy with the Sleep Properties LLC, which if you turn on skip trace and save and reran it, we would give you his contact information and who he is. We're making an assumption that, hey, because he did this property right over here at 7701 Swiss Way, it's right around the corner. It's incredibly similar. They recently did it. He is going to be a very likely buyer for this deal, right? And so what that equates for our users is you spend less time prioritizing the right buyers, right? So that call we did with Tony last night, we called 8 people in 20 minutes. 5 did not pick up. 3 of them picked up. Out of the 3 people who picked up and he had a conversation with, all of them were interested and all of them were walking the property this morning. So when it comes down to prioritizing your time, that's going to be a $30,000 deal for him that he's going to have a multiple offer scenario on. And he made 8 phone calls in 20 minutes. So imagine making 150 touch points to this whole list. You can do the math. You're going to have a multiple offer scenario. So we really do not need to complicate the dispo process if you have the right buyers and you have the right process in place. You can download this list to a CSV. And we got a bunch of other features up there at the top. So you can add buyers to your buyers list. You can track your deals in the CRM section in that My Deals section up there at the top. And then you can create actual landing pages for your deal. It's essentially a marketing flyer that you can then share with buyers. So at this point to date, we've grown extremely fast for a dispo software. I would venture to say that we're one of the biggest, if not the biggest, disposition softwares in the country. And I would attribute that to the quality of data, the simplicity of the software, and then the price is pretty attractive. But Felipe, before we get into any of that jazz, I know we're running up on time here. You're a user. You use the product. Did I make all that clear? Is there anything you think that I need to?
No, that's great. And what I like to use it for, and it's not only for disposition, in which people are hitting me up all the time, especially on our Facebook group, is they're wanting buyers, right? So again, I always do joint ventures with other wholesalers that don't have investor base or doesn't have the rich data. But the way I use it is several ways, right? If I'm a service provider and my client is an investor or a flipper, in 10 seconds, I have 90 potential clients right here. And those are people that are actually buying the deals, right? So if you're selling insurance or if you're doing finance or whatever product it is, it's a great way to open that relationship and start that conversation. The other day, I think it was yesterday, I was playing around and I found an entity that bought 600 plus properties in that county. So I was like, well, that's a good conversation that I could have with that entity, right? And see exactly what they're doing or they're liking to do. So I think it's a great user case in that scenario. And also as a private lender, once I'm making a loan, I can verify the track record from that entity using this here to see what transactions pop up. So those are just little things that I like to use the software for. And one question that I have is, and you might not be able to answer this, but how are you able to do this smart match with knowing who is most likely to pay more for a property, especially let's use Texas as a non-disclosure state, right? It's very hard to get data. The sales data is not publicly available unless you're doing your magic. So that's one of my biggest question is it's almost like magic. How do you do it?
Yeah, so the pricing is less of a component in non-disclosure states, just because we do have access to if someone bought it on MLS and sold it on MLS because we have MLS data, but
Yeah.
it's much fewer and farther between that an investor bought some of these deals on MLS. Um, that said, we are still producing most likely to buy, which can equate to most likely to pay the most. Um, Based on the fact that they just did a deal nearby. Like think about it, if you're a flipper,
Yeah.
you had a great experience with a deal right across the street. I'm likely going to squeeze my margins a little bit to get the deal right across the street because I know the experience that I just had. I know the buyer demand that I got when I listed it. I understand that neighborhood. Um, so a lot of the main indicators are time and proximity, right? How recently did he just do that deal? And how close is it to my property? And so those are indicators as to some buyers that will probably squeeze their margins to get that deal, right?
Yeah. Okay. I've been getting a lot of text messages from a lot of people saying, "Hey, you bought this deal here. Are you interested in this?" I wonder how many of them are using InvestorBase. And it's funny because when they mention and if it's a nightmare property and I didn't have a good experience with that deal, I'm like, "Oh no, I don't want to talk to them." You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Just a little funny. But anyway, guys, if you have any questions, let them know. You want to cover anything else then on this, or shut it down?
That's something I last thing that'd be cool is if you hover over that buyer card, you see where it says 5,800 linked deals.
See that.
So right there on the card in the middle, at the bottom of the card. So on the map view.
On the map.
Yeah. So when you click into an icon,
Uh-huh. Like a blue icon or a
yeah.
green? Okay.
So
Like link deals?
yep, link deals. Yep. So if you click on that, what we are tracking is we are able to identify every single historical flip or buy and hold that entity has ever or done in the last like 26 years, I'd say. So if you
Mhm.
scroll over a little bit, obviously that guy's not doing deals in middle of the ocean. If you scroll over on that map view a little bit, Felipe, you can see the distribution of where this where this buyer is buying deals nationally.
Yeah, I got stuck. Let me try it again.
Yeah, and this is an add-on kind of just little feature. You don't have to pay extra for it by add-on. I just mean this is a great way if you're about to reach out to a buyer to pretty much pre-qualify them as to whether they're going to be a good buyer for you or not, right? You're able to see the percent of ARV they're buying at, their average purchase price, their total portfolio value. I mean, this is obviously a massive entity with a $475 million portfolio value. Not sure why the map view's not loading.